Hello lovely people, and welcome back to another Ninja Woodfire Grill video. So we have got this time, as always, looking to keep it relatively simple. So we've got our pre-made burgers there ready to go on the grill, and I've been experimenting a little bit in different formats, but we're back to the good old tried and tested for this one. So as you can see, you caught me at the start here, so we'll just go through the steps. So we're plugged in, which is step one. We have been a little skimpy with the pallets because I was kind of part using from a cook last time, and for just 4 burgers it seems like a bit of a waste to fill it back up again. So if we do get some smoke out of it, all well and good. If not, then that's not the end of the world. So let's go through our steps. So we're going to get on to our grill function. Is our good old high temperature, 16 minutes, usually does the trick for most things. And then we're going to go through our preheat function. So if you don't want to add the smokiness and you just want to grill instead of a barbecue, then ignore the magic button, the woodfire flavor technology, and it'll go straight into the preheat function. I am a fan. We're going to press it. We'll know we've done so because we have got the ignition light on there. And when we press start, that will change to show that it's going through an ignition process. And that is going to take probably about 2 minutes, maybe 3. And that is, rather than getting our grill up to temperature, that's heating up the element in the hopper, get the smoke going, give it time to circle around the unit, permeate through the lid. So important, obviously, to keep the lid down. If you do lift the lid up, then it will actually pause the process, which is quite a good feature. And I do think they've designed this to be really user-friendly, which I've covered in quite some detail actually in other videos, but I'm conscious that not everybody watches them, so forgive me if I go over stuff that I do quite regularly. But yeah, this is my main kind of format, is taking us through step by step. So we've got our burgers, our tongs or grips or whatever they're called in various different countries, which are nice and clean, ready for when that gets up to temperature. We can put that on there. And we've got some stuff being prepped for our good old burgers indoors. So we'll have a bit of onion on there, nice bit of cheese. And I think there's kind of 2 schools, I think there is. Do you put your cheese on while the burger's cooking, or do you leave it to melt afterwards? I kind of I quite like to have it on whilst it's cooking, so that it melts nicely into the burgers. And I do like a toasted bun, so different schools of thought there as well. Some people will butter them. I like them lightly grilled with a nice bit of burger relish. So whilst we're doing that, I'll just, as always, while we're waiting for the preheat function to kick in, which is the next stage, I'll just go over some updates basically from other videos. So the table that the unit currently sat on is the Ninja branded table, of which there are 2 versions. So you can have the one that has wheels for extra portability. It doesn't come with the side table, the prep table, although I believe maybe you can get them added. What I've gone for here is the version with extendable legs. So there's 3 height settings, and the table actually just clips on and off. So in terms of portability, we were kind of spoiled a little bit with the weather, and then it all kind of changed again. So it was fairly easy to put away, to be honest. So I collapsed the legs on these bits down here, and I took the table off and actually stored away quite nicely. So yeah, that was quite good. We've got, what I would say is the actual cable, the power cable that comes with the unit, is not the longest. So that's why you probably spotted the extension lead down there, so I could get a lovely backdrop for you guys instead of filming it up against the wall. So if you're not filming it, as long as you leave enough room, obviously, to get the lid up whilst it's cooking without whacking your wall, then you're good, especially since our walls have recently been painted and I'd be in big trouble if I scratch them. And if you watch the other videos as well, the original setup, was that we had it on our bench set, which is yet to be varnished, because we were using it for the grill as a temporary measure. So we had some heat resistant insulation that we used just to protect it a little bit with a towel over the top, just to prevent any splashes going on there before we varnish it. And there in the background is our lovely storage bag. So the storage bag is not a branded one, but it's very good, very fit for purpose. I'll just quickly go around it again. You can see that I've got some bits in there. So it's got a little bit of insulation, a little bit of padding. Not that I would put the grill away hot. It has at the front a zip compartment, which is exactly the right size, almost like it was designed that way for the extra grill plates, which hopefully you can see in there. I've got the flat grill plate in there for storage, and then you got two kind of netted side pouches there, which can fit your extra utensils and things in. And then I bought a couple of accessories. I got some skewers there, which if you get a chance to check it out, I did a video and they were delicious. They're a little bit fiddly to make, and actually because they're not designed particularly for the grill, they didn't sit in there with the lid fully closed. So but it did still work, so I could still get the lid mostly down, and it still did get some smoke. And then you got these straps as well here, which clip together once the unit's in there, just to give it a bit of stableness as you're carrying it around. So depending on how this weekend works out, we're due to go to lovely Bournemouth in the UK, and we would quite like to take the unit with us if we could. So it's really useful from that perspective. As I say, the units are quite heavy, not massively heavy, but would you want to be carrying it around all the time? Not really. So it's not like we're going to take it down to the beach and try and find a plug socket for it. That would be a bit much. Much I love the unit. We're not going to go to those lengths. It's just really to get it to the place where we're staying. Whilst I've been going over that, we have kicked over to the preheat function, which will take another 5 minutes or so to get the grill up to temperature, and then we're ready to add our lovely burgers. So yeah, back to the bag, is that it's mainly a storage option. So you can get for the unit, obviously the table is pretty sturdy, pretty well made, and a kind of composite plastic type of material. So it's going to weather pretty well. The legs are like a polished, or what would you call it, brushed steel. So again, should in theory weather quite well, but as with most things, you don't really want to leave them outside in all weathers. And if you're leaving the unit outside, then that means then getting cover as well. So I'm aware that Ninja do have branded barbecue covers. I've not had a chance to review one, and because I've got the carry bag, I'm not going to go out and buy one specifically, because I don't intend to leave the unit outside in the great British weather. So yeah, it's a really handy kind of storage option, so that once we finally cleared our garage out, I'm sure everybody has the same issues, is that we'll find a nice little home for the table on which that can stand in the bag. So hopefully we'll be soon through our preheat function. So that's generally about 5 minutes or so. And then we'll be ready to add it. So I've hopefully responded to all the comments that have been added. I'm not quite at the point where I just won't have time to do all of that, because I genuinely do appreciate all the views, comments, and those lovely subscribers as well. So it's just good to see such a diverse audience and so many people just loving the units. So yeah, you get some hints and tips from there as well. So I'm aware that I've not used the air fry function very much, or any of the others really. It's been mainly grill, because what I'm capturing is, well, we call it tea time in the UK, so we're capturing a quick cook of an evening meal. So I did manage to do some smoker videos early on, so that we could see how that worked, and I also did some pizza videos as well, just to prove that the unit could do that. So it's really a versatile thing, and we'll get much more use out of this. So I do try and capture it on video whenever I'm using it, just to upload those. And I've seen that people have talked about, particularly with chicken and things like that, where they've put them on the grill function and then just finished it off with the air fry. So the air fry, use the crisping basket there, and that'll just crisp the skin right up. So you'd have some breaded chicken, southern fried, not branded, not the 3 letters, that we put on there. That was delicious. And honestly, I don't think we've really had a bad cook on the unit because it's so user friendly. It's taking you through each of those steps. So the pre-set functions are pretty bob on, as long as you keep an eye on what you're cooking. So obviously the larger bits of meat you put on there, the longer they're going to take. So it's a good idea just to have a little look. And actually the unit is going to prompt you halfway through the cook to flip what's on there. So even if you've got something that doesn't need flipping, I'd have a little sneak. And actually you want to see that beautiful colour from all the smoke that's going on. So let's have a little look in the hopper, because we were a bit tight with the old pellets. And as I expected, they've not really caught. So that's not the end of the world. There we go, we're at add food. So we've captured this in real time from the start. And what I'll do is I'll just add these lovely burgers. 1, 2, 3, and last but not least, number 4. And then lid down. So you can see we are now on the countdown from our 16 minutes, which should be just the right time to get our burgers cooked. But we'll be able to see where we're up to 8 minutes into the cook and see how we're feeling about that. So what I find is actually with the barbecues, particularly the coal ones and the gas powered, obviously, regularly I should say, not obviously, flipping the burgers quite a lot so we don't catch too much heat. So on this, you can get away with just one flip, with the unit will guide you through, but just be aware that the grill, as wonderful as it is, doesn't know what you're cooking on there. So it's just 16 minutes at a set temperature, so do keep an eye on those things. I've also, to upgrade your viewing experience, so hopefully the footage is smoother, is I've got myself a gimbal so that I can pan around the unit smoothly. And I also got some wireless microphones because, as I was saying just before I got a bit distracted, I do read the comments, and when I watched the footage back, it was true that when I had the lid open, a lot of the quality of the audio was getting lost, and that's because the phone's trying to pick up the sound of the grill and not me talking. So that means that with a lot of the videos, I'm actually overdubbing afterwards, which is not quite as smooth. So it's me trying to kind of remember what I did and talk over it, which doesn't always work out all that well. So this is captured in real time, and hopefully the audio quality is improved. So what we'll do is I will play around with some lovely edits. Hope you're enjoying them. And I'll catch you when we're ready to flip those burgers and show you what we're dealing with. Okay, so as I said, even though this is on a preset time, I do like to just check where we're up to with the cook. So let's have a little look in the grill. And you can see actually they're already starting to brown quite nicely. So I do like to flip them a little bit more often. So I do like the char on the burgers. Let's have a look. Oh, delicious. But I like to flip them a couple of times just to get, it doesn't catch too much. So I reckon my expert calculations is down. I reckon we're probably only looking at maybe another 5 minutes or so before they're cooked perfectly. So what I'll do is I'll just have a little look at the burgers. So I did invest in a temperature gauge, which I very foolishly left outside in the Great British summertime, which feels like it's going to start raining on me at any point in August. But yeah, I foolishly left that outside and managed to break it. But I think it's more relevant for bigger pieces of meat. So what I like is that there's just a broad range of uses, and as well as making these videos, I do watch them as well. And our friends over the pond are just barbecue masters, aren't they? So you see the stuff, beautiful big bits of meat that they marinate for like days and put rubs on and then put it on the smoke and all stuff like that. And to see that they can do that on a Ninja woodfire, whereas you see some of the smokers have like these massive things that kind of like tractors. So I just really love to see people using the Ninja woodfire. I've seen in the comments that people are only just ready to get out of the box and kind of looking at the videos to get some pointers. And I think that's the beauty of YouTube, particularly for me, is that what you can do is, if you've got an idea that you'd quite like to purchase something, then you can do a bit of research first. So, as I may have said in other videos, we've already got the Ninja air fryer, and it was kind of one of those things of, is this something we'd just like to have that would be like the barbecue? The barbecue might get rolled out a couple of times a year on a sunny day. But I think the number of videos that I've uploaded to this channel, and I'm not a genuine YouTuber, just someone recording the footage and actually really pleased to see how it's going. I just think it shows how versatile it is. So keep those comments coming. And as I may have said in the comments, but not on the videos, if every person that watched the videos just click the subscribe button, it would be huge for me. So I am a middle-aged man, and I'm trying to convince my teenage daughter, that I'm a famous YouTuber with a content creator. So yeah, it would be really good. And yeah, it just helps guide me on what people want to see as well. So yeah, if you can subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Look at that. Do you see that? Some cheese landed by pure magic. Bentley's not happy about it. Not made an appearance yet in the video, but he's standing guard. There we go. Look at him. A monster. Okay. Back to the cooking. So, flip over. We kind of beat it to that, but oh, look at that. So, let's get these cheese on. So, as you can see, they are fairly thick slices, so it doesn't just roll off the barbecue. So we'll just reposition our burgers first, try and get them a bit more level. So you'll get the level side down. Add that cheese, I reckon. Probably not going to be much more than 2 or 3 minutes, I reckon, for those to be cooked. So you can see on the video, I'll show you quickly, where I put the lid down. I've not put the table on a perfectly level surface. I just noticed that I put one of the legs on the side there. So if you are cooking something that's kind of, what's the word? What did we use before? We didn't use the word fat, did we? We used cooking juices. Is that we need it to be level for it, the juices to go into the runoff tray and not pool in the corner like that. So I am going to just quickly readjust the table a little bit, but I'll do that with 2 hands so I don't tip it out all over the place, because the juices will then go into the runoff tray in the back of the unit and not spill all over our table. So I will catch you again for another magical edit in a couple of minutes, and I'll show you the completed burgers. Okay, so I'm not actually convinced that we need those extra minutes, believe it or not. So what I'm going to do is I've readjusted the table, which, as you can see, is sorted out a little problem out in the corner there of the fat pooling. Cheese is melting beautifully, so let's, at this point, turn it off. And then I think that is our burgers done. So that's a real-time video, start to finish, of burgers. I've done it in a few edits, so I think we're probably looking at end to end, probably about 15 minutes. As always, I'd just like to just close that lid so you can hear me properly. Just like to thank everybody that takes time out to watch the videos. And as I said before, if everybody that viewed them clicks that subscribe button, it'd be really helpful. It doesn't mean that you'll get peppered with notifications, but it just lets me know that you're interested in the channel. And actually, if you do want to see upcoming content or know what's on there, then you can click the notification bell as well. Apparently, it's just going to defend us. It's going to defend our burgers against the threat. So I will leave you guys with that one. See you in the next one. Okay, this is like the bonus feature at the end of the video. So we captured the main event, and then thought, actually, let's just put the onions on the grill. So we turned it off, but obviously it's still got a bit of residual heat. And we've got some lovely onion slices on there. You can see there's a little bit of cooked cheese down there. We'll just see how quickly these brown. Cow. What's not to love? Bit of fried onion on your burger. That lovely, oh, look at that cheese. And that's actually quite a good demonstration of how easy it is to get stuff off the grill. So you can see there, with just a little bit of effort, we got the kind of baked on cheese off. So that's a cheeky extra for those of you that stayed around to the end. And then I'll just talk quickly about the clean down process as always. So what I tend to do is once it's off, that means that your hopper's off as well. And just take that hopper out and put it somewhere where it's heat resistant so that it can cool down before you pack your unit away. So the metal tray comes out completely. I find it really useful to get a fork in those little grooves there and lift them out onto something. And then you leave the lid up to let some of that heat escape. Then by the time you've ate your lovely food that you just cooked, then it should be cool enough to take the plate off, which removes completely. Give it a little bit of soak in some soapy water, and you'll find that most of that will come off really easy to be able to put your unit away clean for the next cook. You see under there that we've used this quite a bit and it's taken on quite a smoky colour, so you don't clean that one every time. Just give it a bit of a wipe around these areas, and all these seals, I go around with a bit of disinfectant spray and some kitchen roll just to keep that hygienic. It's not touching the food, but it's just nice. And I think every so often, periodically, we'll get some oven cleaner foam just to clean the lid, because actually on the camera that looks really bad, like we've not looked after it properly, but that's where all the smoke is. It's not in contact with your food. And then just a general wipe down with everything else, and you're good to go for the next time. That's really it this time. I'll see you in the next one.